Today I'm going to give y'all 5 quick practical things that is stunting your hair growth. If you notice that your hair is like on a standstill, I'm going to give you these 5 practical things that you can analyze in your hair care regimen to say like, maybe that's the reason why I'm not seeing the results I want to see with my hair growth. I'm going to pull over to this parking lot and talk to y'all so people won't be in my business. I'm leaving the Dollar Tree and I'm out here running errands. And so I'm like, let me go ahead and pop on this live because I said I want to be a little bit more consistent with my live streams. But yeah, I'm about to park and then we're gonna talk about this. So the last couple of days, while I'm driving over to the parking lot, I'm gonna just say this right quick. Last couple of live streams I've been doing, I've been talking about hair growth and how you can get your hair to grow. And like this more so like the mental blocks and like what's going on internally and talking about your mindset. And those things are really, really important. And I touch on those things first a lot of times because like, yeah, the reason why some of your hair is not growing, it is a mental block. It is, like the negativity, how you feel about your hair and not falling in love with your hair. And I really have taken time to really buckle down on like the mental aspect of it, but also with the mental aspect, we also have to give I also have to give you some practical advice on why you're not seeing the growth you want to see. And you might be watching this live. Let's put down the window some. You might be watching this live and you like you just kind of feel like your hair is pretty much at the same length and it's probably been at length for a while and you're trying to figure out, okay, what am I doing wrong? So I'm going to give you some practical tips of things you can do. So, and these are in no particular order. I'm going to look down at my phone because I took some notes while I was at the house earlier of some things I was thinking about. So if you see me looking down, that's why I'm looking at my notes. So the first thing is the reason why you're not seeing the growth you want to see, or your hair growth is kind of like at a standstill, is you manipulate your hair too much. Hey Kristen, thank you for joining. First thing is you manipulate your hair too much. So that means like anytime it's a new hair trend, you hopping on the next latest hair trend, trying this new style, trying that. And again, there's nothing wrong with trying like new styles and stuff like that, but we have to be very conscious. Like if we're doing a whole lot of over manipulation to our hair, that's going to stunt our growth. All right. So always keeping your hands in your head, always just absolutely doing the most to your hair. Hey Carolina, thanks for joining the live. So if y'all have questions, just go in. I hope you go viral one day. Well, look, even if I don't go viral one day, look, long as people get the knowledge. So over manipulation of your hair. So always like putting your hands in your hair. And sometimes you might be like, well, Lisa, I don't over manipulate my hair. I keep my hair in 2-strand twists and I don't do anything to it. So one thing I want to bring to your attention that I brought to one of my clients' attention is sometimes you might be sitting at your desk and when you get nervous or when you get anxious, you'll notice you'll start doing this with your hair. Or you just start like picking your hair. Like it's just always constantly like picking and touching. And so that right there is too much manipulation, because when people think about over manipulation, they always sometimes think about it as far as like styling, like trying new styles. And yes, hey Jamila, yes, it can be styling, but over manipulation can be just constantly always pulling and tugging at your hair. Like I said, you sitting there working, you bored and you doing like this, or maybe you sitting on your couch and you watching TV and you just constantly like picking at your hair. Maybe you're somebody and you get anxious a lot, or when you get nervous, or when you get scared, when you get upset, you tend to pull on your hair. My niece, she went through a spell like that where like just her just being stressed out, she would like just pull at her hair a lot. And that can be like a stress indicator. Like sometimes people are really stressed, and if that's something that's happening to you, like you realize that like, man, when I started to get stressed, when I started to get anxious, I noticed I mess with my hair a lot. That's over manipulation, like over like doing it with your hair. And so Hey from Louisiana. Hey Bridget Strickland, thank you for joining. Hair is nice, but I have to go. Thank you for being here though. So yeah, so like when we think about low too much manipulation, it can be really subtle things that you're doing that you're not realizing it. So of course, like wearing too much of the tight ponytails, you know, the slit back ponytails, it's too much on your hair, doing it all the time, and you wonder why you're not seeing growth. The tight hairstyles, the tight braids all the time, because a lot of people be like, well, when I leave my hair alone it grows. But it's also, how do you leave your hair alone? This sun kind of beaming. I'm gonna have to move my car. I got the sun beaming. Hold on, let's pull up to a little shaded area. Let's pull up to a little shaded area. Hold on, y'all. I park right in the sun. I'm about to find me a little shade tree. But yeah, some people say, oh yeah, when I leave my hair alone it grows. But also is how do you leave it alone? You know what I'm saying? Do you always like put in tight styles and whatchamacallit in your hair, because that's too much on your hair? Okay, so let's pull up to a little shade tree. And it kind of got a little warm today because it's been raining here in Raleigh the last couple of days. Oh, is this a little shade? Let me see if I can catch some shade right here. Let's see if I can pull it right here in this little tree. You know what I'm saying? Catch a little vibe. Okay, that's better. That's better. Okay, so yeah, too much manipulation. So that's the first thing. So be conscious of always touching, pulling, and tugging at your hair. Be gentle and just do styles where you leave your hair alone. Like I was editing some content today and I was talking about how when I say protective styles, or some people always think wigs, weaves, and crochets, but you can wear protective styles with your hair. You can wear your hair in twists, flat twists. You can braid your own hair and keep your ends tucked, so they're not being manipulated all the time. So be very conscious with over manipulating your hair every day and touching and pulling and tugging at it. And if you're someone and you always be stressed and you tend to notice that you tend to tug at your hair, hey Karen, thank you for joining. Be mindful of that. So you might not even notice it, but next time you go to put your hands in your head and you want to pull, or like this, are you bored, or are you anxious about something? Is somebody getting on your nerves, like your kids getting on your nerves? Like, recognize where that problem is coming from, and you find something else to do with your hands. Like, if you know that's about to happen, I don't know, go throw a baseball, go do something else with your hands, or get distracted, watch a movie, write, journal, find something else to do. Just don't put your hands in your head. So that's the first reason why you're not seeing the growth. And I'm telling you, if you listen to this list of 5, it's gonna be probably one thing I say, and it's gonna take your hair care to the next level. Okay, so that's the first thing. Second thing I'm looking down is rubbing your hair against your clothes or other type of material. So hey Coach Sheena, thank you for joining. So some people, they realize like, oh, my hair never grows past like my shoulder, like my neck, or my hair never grows past my shoulder. And let's just say you intentionally trying to grow your hair past your neck and your shoulder, and you're like, man, it gets this length and it does not grow past there. Well, I'm gonna point a couple of things out. I will mention it sometimes with my clients with locks. Sometimes some of my clients with locks would get like lint like on their locks. They wearing their locks down. I would notice, especially in the wintertime, they would get more lint on their locks. Sometimes it would be because like the scarves and the hats that they're wearing. If they're wearing their hair down, the lint that's on their scarves or their hats or their coats or whatever is rubbing off on their hair, so it's rubbing up against it. So you might be someone and you might wear your hair down or curly and it's touching like maybe your collarbone or right here at your shoulders, but then the clothes you're wearing, like is cotton or whatever kind of clothes it is, if your hair is constantly rubbing up against that, that's stunting your growth. So that goes back to, sometimes when your hair get a certain length, you need to do styles where it's pinned up and it's tucked away. And that's just like a very subtle thing. Like, because think about, like, if you at work or you at an office desk and you might just be moving here talking to your coworker, you're not realizing that your hair is constantly rubbing against your clothes. So that could be a reason why it's stunting your growth, and that's why you kind of feel like it's not growing past that. Now, what are some things that you can do to, like, combat that? I always recommend oiling your ends. Like, put some oil. Like, if you can wear your hair down, like in a wash and go or a twist out or something, and your hair is at that length where it's constantly rubbing on your clothes, make sure every day before, if you're gonna wear your hair down, before you put your clothes on, take some oil and rub it on the ends of your hair, so that way when your hair do rub up against your clothes, the first thing that the clothes is going to touch is going to give it some slip, because the oil is going to be off. The oil is going to rub off on it. It's not going to break off. Now remember, your ends is the oldest and the most fragile part of your hair, so that's why for some people it's better for them just to wear styles where they tuck their ends away and don't have to worry about constantly, having to put oil or, maintaining the ends of their hair. So just keep that in mind. The ends are the oldest and most fragile. Even me, even though my hair is short and it's not touching the ends of my hair, I still do kind of like, every other day or when I can think of it, I'll just put oil on my ends because I know my ends are out and they're exposed. So keep that in mind. If you're someone and you're not seeing the growth you want to see, your hair rubbing up against your clothes and stuff that can stunt your growth, okay? So Bridget said, what's a good shampoo and conditioner for my daughter who has thick 4C hair? She's 12 years old. Afro-American. Thank you for Bridget for getting the comments. So you'll see on my website, I got a couple of shampoos. I do have my own hair care line. It's called Marie's Legacy. It's a honey mimosa shampoo and conditioner. It's great for, you said she got thick 4C hair. It has honey in the shampoo. It has aloe. It has botanical oils like rosemary, sweet almond oil, which is good and moisturizing for the hair. And it has humectants in it too. So it's going to help with your daughter's hair. And it also helps with detangling. So if your daughter has very thick hair and it kind of like tangles a lot, that shampoo will break down that hair and help with the tangles as well. But yeah, thank you. Coach Shana just put a link for the products right there, so you can shop around some of the products on my website. Okay, so did that make sense, y'all? Give me a heart or put tell me that makes sense. So put a number. I think we're on number 3 now. Oh, you're welcome, Bridget. So the first thing, remember, the first thing I want y'all to put in the chat, first thing, number 1, is too much manipulation. And I got to point this out because in one of my other videos, I was telling somebody to put, I said to see if y'all paying attention, I want y'all to put number 1 in the chat, or put my hair grows, because I was trying to see what mark you was at. And you always got some bad different spirits talking about why you telling people what to put on your videos. Honey, hush, hush, hush. Really, when I say if you made it to this mark, put this in the comments and let me know you made it. It is so I can see that you listening and that you made it, but also it's to help you to retain the lens. It's kind of like you taking notes. When you come on these live streams, this is like, I'm giving free game. These are like notes. So if I say like, oh, put this in the chat, it's just so you can just help remember. You don't have to do, ain't nobody making you put nothing in the chat. You don't have to. You always, because you know how many people watch my videos who don't put in the chat. For the people who do, that just lets me know that you're listening and you're taking notes and you're really getting it down in your spirit and you want to see results. So I just want to put that out there. Okay, so number 1 we said was too much manipulation. Okay, whether that means you're constantly picking at your hair throughout the day, you always doing different hairstyles, just doing too much to your hair. Number 2 we said was your hair rubbing up against your clothes. And I also want to point this out on number 2. You know how I said, like, you got to be mindful, like, if your hair is constantly rubbing up against, like, your clothes and stuff like that. Also, and I have to remember this. Sometimes I like to lay on my couch and, like, just hang out. But I've gotten to the point, and I've been slacking, I want to say, the last couple of times I laid on my couch, is when you end up against your couch, that's like rough material too, okay? That's either cotton or some kind of polyester or whatever. You want to make sure, like, sometimes if you like nap on your couch, in my living room I have an ottoman, and so inside my ottoman I keep a satin pillowcase, or I either keep a pillow with a satin pillowcase on it. So if I'm like too lazy and it's like a Friday night or Saturday night and I'm watching, having a movie night in my living room, and I end up like, laying down on the couch, I'll pull out that pillow with the satin pillowcase on it, because sometimes like my bonnet might be in my bedroom, it might be in my bathroom, and I don't feel like getting up, just having a lazy night. So if you're that type of person, that's just a bonus tip. If you're that type of person and you like to chill out in your den or your movie room or wherever you got going on, and you notice that you tend to lay down or just on your couch, not even realizing it, just be intentional. Like, this either you can either keep an extra bonnet in your living room that's strictly for when you in your living room. Maybe you don't feel like, I only got one level, but let's say you live in an apartment or a townhouse or a house and you got 2 levels, and you're like, man, I ain't about to go all the way upstairs to get this bonnet. Either be intentional, keep an extra bonnet downstairs, like in your couch, like by your ottoman or somewhere in your living room, or just keep a satin pillowcase where if you just want to lay down, you have that. And this will even be good for your kids, because maybe your kids or your teenagers like to fall asleep on the couch or whatever. Just have it right there, okay? Because that will help you, and that can be another reason why you ain't seeing growth, because again, your hair is rubbing up against that couch. I'll even say this for kids, and I need to invent this. I need to invent this. Babies sometimes, like in their car seat and stuff, y'all know babies be back there, they just be rubbing, and you know how some of the babies get the little bald spot back there. You can also put a bonnet on the back of that car seat, or put a satin scarf back there. So when that baby like that, wham, y'all know how babies be doing. That baby can rub up against something satin. So they need to create I need to create some little things for babies or toddlers, where when they in the car or whatever, their head is rubbed up against something that's not breaking their hair off. So that's just a little bonus tip. Let me go ahead and block this person. Yeah, let me go ahead and block. How do I block? How do I remove this person? Hi, user. Yeah, don't take much from me. It don't take much from me. Okay, thank you, Coach Sheena. See, Coach Sheena put the notes in the chat. She listening. I will start keeping a bonnet in my ottoman. Thanks for this pro tip. Oh yeah, that's a good pro tip. It's a good pro tip. So keep that bonnet in your ottoman, or either keep just a satin pillowcase. And even if it's not like a pillow with a pillowcase, even if you just keep something satin downstairs, or wherever you at, because like sometimes you lazy and you don't feel like getting it, or going to go get it because you've been on your feet all day and you're just tired. Okay, so just keep that in mind. All right, so number 3, the third reason why your hair, you stunting your hair growth and you're not seeing the results you want to see, is you're not trimming your hair. You're not trimming your hair. And this should be self-explanatory, but I'll say this. Trimming your hair does not grow your hair. I'm going to say it again. Trimming your hair does not grow it. But hair is always constantly growing. These things I'm talking about is the reasons why you can't really see the length retention, because it's always growing. Or, but it's like as soon as it's growing in, it's breaking off. You're not taking care of it. So you got to be trimming your hair. And I'll say this, the rule of thumb, you're here every 6 to 8 weeks. But everybody's trim schedule, in my personal opinion, is going to be different. Some of my clients can go longer, and when I say longer, I mean like sometimes up to 12 weeks before we have to trim, versus some clients need to be in there at 6 to 8. So it's going to kind of vary between you and your hair care professional, and knowing your hair and knowing how to take care of your hair. I will say this, the more you know how to take care of your hair, you know how to keep your hair moisturized. You don't over manipulate your ends, you tuck your ends away. Those are the clients that don't really need to get trims as often. I'm gonna go ahead and say that, because they know how to really take care of their hair. They hair do not be out all the time. They wear styles where the ends are tucked, and it's put away. But not trimming your hair, that's why you're not seeing the results you want to see, is because like when your hair is growing in and you got these split ends, you're not taking care of it. So you can't really see your length like that, because it's like when you're not taking care of it, then you're not trimming your hair, it keeps splitting, and then now you got to get this much cut off, and you're like, man, my hair ain't growing. I'm like, it is growing, but you probably just didn't do a good job with taking care of your hair. And so now when it's time for a quote unquote trim, really it's a whole haircut. Okay, it's not even a trim. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and say that. So you got to make sure that you're keeping up and trimming your hair when it's needed. Don't keep delaying and putting it off and say, oh, I'll do it, this time, I'll do it that time. Don't keep delaying it. And I'll say this, when you trim your hair, y'all, you'll notice that your hair will cooperate so much better. Your curls are going to thrive. Some people be like, oh, her twist looks so juicy, it looks so good. That's because they keep up with they trims. If you want your curls to have that nice little ringlet at the end and nice little curl, little C-pop curl, keeping up with your trims, your twist gonna look better, your wash and go's gonna look better. It's gonna be easier to detangle your hair at home. It's not gonna seem like a long drawn out process. If you somewhere right now you frustrated with your hair and it takes forever to detangle, it takes forever to wash and all of that, I want you to evaluate when last time you had to trim. Because when you get that trim, you're not having to fight with your hair. Because what's happening is you probably, brushing it, you get down to the ends and you struggling. It's because the hair is kind of like entangled. You probably got single strand knots. It's just probably a lot going on. And you like, look, I just ain't got time. Natural hair is hard. And natural hair ain't hard. You just ain't educated. Point blank, period. Let's drink some water because it's getting kind of hot in here. So yeah, not trimming your hair. So you might, and here's the thing, is like, you got to choose health over length. The thing is, the length is going to come. If you just take care and do what you need to do, the length is going to come. You got to fall more in love with the process versus the length. I'm preaching to myself. I just thought about something else I'm going through. I'll say, y'all, I'm talking to myself. You hear me? Lisa, you have to fall in love with more of the process of getting there. Because you can't, and here's the thing. If you can't be grateful for what you have now, if you can't enjoy, choose health over length, amen to that. If you cannot, like, appreciate and take care of hair now, you're not opening up the door for more hair. More hair cannot come in the way it's supposed to come in because you are not being diligent to what you have now. You're careless with it. So that's why you're not seeing growth. You're careless. You don't trim your hair, you're not taking care of it. So it's like, why should God bless you with more hair? I mean, he's always blessing you with hair, but you can't even see God's blessings because you're still in your mess. Listen. If you want more hair, if you want your hair to be healthy, yes, it is, Coach, and it's a word. If you gotta fall in love with your hair now. I don't care if your hair is short. I don't care if it's stuck at this length and you feel like it's not growing. Start changing how you look at your situation now. I want you to start treating your hair like how you gonna treat your hair once it's longer. You can't wait till it get longer. You gotta start that process now. What do people with healthy hair do? Go watch my live stream for last week, and I think I talk about how to get healthy hair. How do people with healthy hair treat their hair? Start looking at people with healthy hair. What are they doing? Find out what they're doing. Okay? So I went off a whole tangent of that, but basically number 3 was the reason you stunting your growth, or you're not able to see your growth, or you feel like it's not growing, is because your hair is breaking off. Okay, you're not trimming it. So you got to get rid of that breakage by trimming your hair. Okay, that's number 3. Okay, number 4. The fourth thing I want to say is not keeping your hair moisturized. Not keeping your hair moisturized. I'm definitely talking about my natural girlies, because that's a big problem that we have. Shameless plug. Go ahead and get my free ebook, Why is My Hair Dry? I give you some, in-depth tips on a little quick ebook read that you can, read and figure out why your hair is dry. It needed to be said and heard. Thank you for speaking the truth in love. Oh, you welcome. You're welcome. For everybody whoever have ears to hear. And what they say, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Or when the teacher's ready, the student will appear. I can't remember the saying, but let it hit who it's supposed to hit. Okay, so number 4 is not keeping your hair moisturized. Lisa, what do you mean by keeping your hair moisturized? What's your shampoo schedule? What that shampoo schedule do? Y'all know I'm gonna get on that. Y'all know. Y'all know when people say their hair dry, okay, how often do you shampoo your hair? That is gonna be my first question. Sometimes it's not on my first. Sometimes I ask about water. But yeah, I want what that shampoo regimen do. And I'm touching on this because I grew up in the era where, you know, black women didn't wash their hair like that. We didn't want to mess up our hair. We didn't want to get our hair wet at the pool. We didn't do that. Because I grew up with a relaxer, so we didn't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? But now that we're natural, it's like you got to be shampooing your hair. You have to. If your hair is on the dry side, like crispy, crackety dry, girl, every 7 days, don't argue with me. I'm telling you, don't argue with me. Every 7 days, if your hair is real dry. Okay? Now, some people are like, well, Lisa, ain't there going to be over manipulation? No. Because if you wash your hair every 7 days and you put it in a style where you're not messing with it, that's not over manipulation. Because some people are like, well, I don't want to wash it 7 days because it's over manipulating my hair. No, but you just can't be doing the most in between. Like put your hair in a bun or, do a flat twistle style where your ends are tucked, you know what I'm saying, where you're not messing with it. But washing it once a week is not going to be over manipulated. The key is the tractor trailer coming by. The key is in between your wash day, don't be doing a whole lot, okay? Don't be doing a whole lot. So if you got dry hair, I would recommend every 7 to 10 days. It depends. You gotta know it. If not, some people do every 2 weeks. I personally don't recommend going more than 2 weeks without shampooing your hair. 3 weeks, you're really kind of pushing it, but y'all grown, do what you want to do. But I'm just saying. So yeah, getting back to not moisturizing your hair. So of course, what is your shampoo schedule like? Okay, how often do you do a treatment? Do you do it once every couple of months? Do you do one once a month? Do you do one twice a month? What is that like? Because the reason why I'm asking that is because if you want your hair to be moisturized, the hydration starts on shampoo day. That's the key. The hydration, put that in the chat. Hydration starts at shampoo day. That sets the tone. That's going to set the tone for your hair for the week. Is what's happening on that shampoo day. You getting your hair hydrated enough. And I also want to say this, and I think I mentioned this on my video, my live yesterday when I watched my mini twist. If you got really, really low porosity hair, don't just wet the hair real quick and then start putting the shampoo on it. No, you really need to saturate your hair. Thank you, Coach Tina. You really need to saturate your hair. People be laughing at me because I be taking my time at that shampoo bowl because I really saturate that hair. I want to get all that product out, all that dirt out. So when I get ready to use my shampoo, it can work effectively. You can't rush shampoo day. If you take your time, I'm telling you, if you take your time at the shampoo bowl, it's going to change your life. Take your time. Okay, take your time shampooing your hair because that is going to be the foundation for healthy hair. It's going to be the foundation for a hydrated hair. So really take your time. You get ready to shampoo your hair. Really, especially if you low porosity, meaning like it takes a long time for your hair to get wet. If your hair cuticles are really, really tight, low porosity, sometimes it's really, really tight, so it's really hard for water and stuff to get in. High porosity, your hair, it soaks it up immediately. But if you got low porosity hair, really drench that hair and rinse it out really, really good, and then apply your shampoo. So number 4 is not having your hair properly moisturized. And I'm gonna tell you this: if you did what you're supposed to do on shampoo day, you should be able to go at least 3 to 4 days before you have to apply any extra moisture, like re-moisturize your hair. And when I mean by re-moisturize your hair, maybe you have to add like maybe a little bit of leave-in conditioner, and a little oil because you're like, oh, it's kind of feeling a little dry. So let me add a little leave-in conditioner, a little bit of oil to re-moisturize it, okay? Because this gonna mess up with my next one, but I just want to say this. Keeping your hair moisturized, because when your hair stays moisturized, it's going to be less likely to break. And when it's less likely to break, that means we're getting to length retention. Then that way, as the hair is growing in, you keeping the hair. It's not breaking off because it's moisturized, and that's how you're gonna be able to see your growth. And if you're not seeing your growth, it could be because you're not keeping your hair properly moisturized. You don't have the right products. If you need products, you go to lisasmilez.com. I got shampoos, conditioners, leave-in conditioners, oils, all of that. Okay, so we tone it down to tip number 5. The 5th reason why you're not seeing the growth you want to see is because you're wetting your hair every day. And this kind of ties into what I said with number 4, not keep your hair moisturized. Some people get up and I'm like, well, my hair be so dry, so I had to get up and re-wet it. You should not be wetting your hair every day to keep it moisturized. That's too much. Previously on my videos, I have said that, like, when your hair is wet, it's at its weakest state. So constantly wetting your hair every day, you're constantly stressing your hair out and weakening your hair every day because you're wetting it. You're wetting your hair. Okay. Sorry, y'all. So constantly, thank you, Coach Sheena. So constantly wetting your hair every day, you're constantly putting your hair at a very weak state. And so I'm pretty sure if you wetting it, you're probably maybe slicking it back into a ponytail, probably doing some style. And then what that goes back to what we said, number 1, over manipulation of your hair. You're doing too much manipulation. Because I'm guaranteeing if you wetting it, you're probably doing something where you got to style it or something like that. That's too much stress on your hair. There's too much manipulation. And you're keeping your hair at a weakened state every day, and that's not good. Your hair needs a good balance of protein and moisture. So wetting it every day, that's stunting your growth. That's weakening your hair. And so when you're wetting your hair every day and then you manipulating it because you styling it with however you styling it, it's going to break. And now you're not seeing the growth you want to see. Like, man, why she said keep it moisturized and I'm wetting it. That's where you're going wrong, because I said before, hydration starts at the shampoo day. If you did what you were supposed to do, if you used the right shampoos on shampoo day, you should be able to go a couple of days without having to wet your hair at all. It should be moisturized enough. If it's not, if you washed your hair today and then you say tomorrow it feels dry, there's a break in your the shampoo you're using, or the technique, or how you shampooing your hair, and you need to get that together, because your hair shouldn't be dry and need to be re-wetted the next day. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So that's the 5th thing on why you are not seeing, why your hair growth is stunted, is because of these simple practical things. So think about your regimen. Think about, like, kind of like what you got going on, and compare my tips to some of the things you're doing at home that you can kind of course correct and get it together. Now I'm gonna give y'all a little bonus. This is a bonus. Put bonus in the chat. Is anybody still watching? Put bonus in the chat. I'm gonna give y'all a bonus since y'all made it to the end. I think I got 5 people watching. That's keeping your hair from growing, or being able to see the growth. I can't remember what I named this live stream. Did I say 5 things keep your hair from growing? I don't know or slowing your hair growth. Anyway, the bonus is, if you're like, man, Lisa, I feel like, I don't do none of these things. I feel like I don't over manipulate my hair. You might feel like your hair is not rubbing them against stuff, so you have your ends tucked. You might feel like, Lisa, I am trimming my hair. Lisa, I am keeping my hair moisturized. I'm not wetting my hair every day. So here's the bonus on why you feel like your hair growth is slow. It could be a couple of things, and here's the bonus. Stress. Stress is affecting, slowing down your growth. Another bonus is the medications you're on. Every premenopausal, postmenopausal, that could affect it. Not all the time. And medications, and probably genetics. Genetics is not saying your hair can't grow, but sometimes genetics can be like, maybe your hair just grows at a slower rate. Okay, so those are just some bonuses on if you feel like your hair is growing at a slower rate, or why you're not able to see your growth you want to see. So this compare all that. Do we have any questions before I get off the live stream? Oh, also I do want to say this while I'm waiting for any questions to come in. um I do have another ebook, and it's called the Ultimate Hair Guide. So if you somebody, you watching this and you want to know, okay, well, how often should I be doing a steam treatment? How often should I be doing a protein? Or how often should I get my ends trimmed? Like, I have this ebook, and it's called the Ultimate Hair Guide. So with this Ultimate Hair Guide, it's only $5. It's a quick read. It's downloadable to your phone, so you can download it, and I got different checklists in it. So if you someone, you got dry hair, if you someone dry hair and you trying to help with that, if you got a checklist for dry hair, if you got a checklist if you're trying to grow your hair, I have a checklist if you just want to make sure if you on the right plan and just maintain your hair, got a checklist for that. I got a checklist if your hair is thinning. And with the checklist, is basically like I'm giving you a treatment plan. If you have heat damage, if you're suffering with that, and what was the other checklist or for? I can't remember. But those are I give you a personalized plan, and you can follow that. And then I also have like some journal questions, and then it have how you can track your growth to see like, okay, how much did my hair grow this month compared to last month? Is my hair actually growing? Am I seeing results? So if that's something that interests you, you can go to my website. She made sure to put my website right there, lisasmilez.com. You can go to my website too and look up under products where it says shop, and the ebook guide will be there. So yeah, that's that. So yeah, I think that's all we have for this live stream. I hope y'all was able to learn something from this live stream, and course correct your hair. And I just want y'all to know this last thing is like, just know like on my channel, I want to promote just like healthy hair, and I also try to make things simple. I don't want you to think like, oh, natural hair is so hard, oh, I can't figure it out. Keep coming back, keep watching these videos, keep getting the knowledge, because I'm giving y'all game for the free 99. Okay, it don't cost nothing to be on YouTube. Costs nothing except for your data of your internet. But if you go to McDonald's, you get it for free and get on that data. But I'm up here giving y'all game for free. So keep coming back, keep watching the videos. If this information was helpful for you and you found some value in it, and you like my vibe, and you don't watch me this long, subscribe to the channel. Like, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? If the spirit leads you, subscribe to the channel. If the spirit leads you, like the video if you found something valuable, or maybe even share it with somebody. But even if you don't do all that, even if you don't subscribe, if you don't like, and if you don't share it, as long as your hair health has changed, the best compliment I can get is when somebody can't come back on my channel, or I hear somebody say, Lisa, I tried them tips, and guess what? My hair growing. That's the biggest compliment right there. That lets me know I'm doing something right. So I'm always happy about that. So yeah, and if you want, you can join the Lisa Smilez tribe. It's a membership, a private YouTube membership. With my membership, sometimes they get videos first before I post, and then I post more of like my personal like vlogs and stuff on my under my membership. And then I haven't did a members only live lately, but we'll do like members only like live streams and stuff I want to talk about. So if that's something that interests you, you can do that too. Either way, I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all in another video. Bye.